Welcome back. Today we're exposing the truth behind those flawless travel photos you see online. You know the ones: empty beaches, epic sunsets, not a soul in sight. But reality? It's chaos, crowds, and a lot of waiting. We're recreating famous Instagram shots, but you'll see the exhaustion, the crowds, and the behind-the-scenes madness. This is Instagram versus reality travel edition. Stick around for a special message at the end that might just change how you see your own adventures. Let's dive in. Our first stop, what was supposed to be the secluded beach Instagram promised. I'd spent weeks scrolling through dreamy photos, imagining myself as the only person for miles, just the sound of waves and the breeze in the palms. The anticipation was real. I pictured untouched sand, crystal clear water, and maybe a hammock with my name on it. The photos showed endless white sand and turquoise water, total paradise. It looked like the kind of place you'd see on a postcard, or maybe a screensaver. I was ready for my own private slice of heaven, far from the crowds and chaos of city life. Reality? We arrived to a packed beach party. Hundreds of people, towels everywhere, and barely a spot to sit. The sand was covered in umbrellas, coolers, and sunbathers. Kids were building sandcastles right where I'd hoped to lay my towel. It was a sea of people, not the sea of tranquility I'd imagined. Vendors are everywhere: coconuts, bracelets, massages. The soundtrack? Competing speakers and shouting. Every few steps someone tried to sell us something, and the air was filled with the smell of grilled corn and sunscreen. It was lively, but not exactly peaceful. Mission: recreate the empty beach photo. My team tried forming a human wall to block people out. Didn't work. We tried timing our shots between waves of tourists, but someone always wandered into the frame. It became a hilarious game of beach photo Tetris. After hours of sweating and dodging crowds, we resorted to extreme camera angles and digital cropping. We crouched, climbed, and even tried lying in the sand to get that perfect shot. It was a workout and a lesson in patience. The final photo looks peaceful, but just outside the frame, chaos. Kids screaming, vendors shouting, and a volleyball nearly hit my camera. The illusion was complete, but only for the camera. The truth? That paradise shot is a product of patience, editing, and a lot of luck. Behind every perfect Instagram photo, there's a story of persistence, sweat, and sometimes a little digital magic. The real experience is sharing your slice of paradise with thousands of strangers. It's noisy, it's crowded, but it's also full of life and energy. Sometimes the best memories come from the unexpected chaos. Instagram shows the dream. Reality is a crowded, noisy adventure. But maybe that's what makes travel so memorable. The surprises, the mishaps, and the stories you never expected to tell. On to the next challenge. Who knows what reality will look like this time? Next up, iconic landmarks. The kind you see on postcards, in travel magazines, and all over Instagram. These are the places that inspire wanderlust, the bucket list destinations that everyone dreams of visiting at least once in their life. You've seen the photos: majestic, empty, awe-inspiring. The kind of shots that make you believe you'll have the place to yourself, soaking in the history and grandeur in perfect solitude. It's easy to imagine yourself as the only person there, lost in the moment. Reality? We arrived to a sea of people, tour groups, and a forest of selfie sticks. The air buzzed with chatter in a dozen languages, and every inch of space was claimed by someone else with the same dream. Forget quiet reflection. It's a battle just to avoid getting poked in the eye. You're constantly weaving through crowds, sidestepping selfie sticks, and trying not to photobomb someone else's once-in-a-lifetime shot. We wanted that classic, empty shot. So we waited, and waited. 4 hours in line, barely moving. The line snaked around corners, stretched across courtyards, and seemed to grow longer by the minute. The sun was relentless, kids were crying, and everyone was getting restless. People fanned themselves with maps, shared snacks, and exchanged stories about their travels to pass the time. The anticipation built with every slow shuffle forward. When you finally reach the spot, it's a high-stakes game. Time your shot between tour groups, crop out strangers, and hope for a miracle. You're hyper-aware of every second, knowing the next wave of people is just steps behind you. You get maybe 10 seconds to snap the photo before the next person jumps in. It's a frantic scramble. Adjust your camera, strike a pose, and pray no one walks into the frame at the last second. The final image? Serene and effortless. The reality? Pandemonium just outside the frame. Behind every perfect photo is a crowd of people waiting, shuffling, and sometimes even arguing over whose turn is next. Everyone's fighting for the same shot, and it's a silent, awkward dance. You exchange polite nods, shuffle sideways, and sometimes even negotiate with strangers for a few extra seconds of camera time. The magic isn't in finding the landmark empty. It's in the absurd effort to make it look that way. It's a shared struggle, a universal experience for travelers everywhere. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Would I recommend it? Only if you love lines and chaos. But if you're after a story to tell, a memory that's equal parts frustration and triumph, then maybe, just maybe, it's worth every second. The next challenge, the perfect mountain sunrise photo. The Instagram version, peaceful, coffee in hand, alone with nature. Reality 3 a.m. alarm, freezing cold, and a brutal 2-hour hike in the dark. We thought we'd be alone. Wrong, dozens of headlamps ahead of us. The secluded viewpoint was already crowded, everyone jockeying for the best spot. As the sun rose, it was beautiful, but the pressure was on. We scrambled to set up cameras and frame the shot to look like I was alone. I tried to look peaceful, but I was shivering and exhausted. Hundreds of photos later, we finally got the shot. The photo looks magical. The reality? A freezing, crowded, frantic photo shoot. The struggle is real, and the real story is in the chaos, not the calm. Time for the luxury hotel experience. Instagram shows perfection, pristine beds, spotless bathrooms, stunning views. For 5 minutes, it's true. Then reality hits. Suitcase explodes, clothes everywhere, cables tangled, snacks and maps scattered. The perfectly made bed, now a laundry pile, the bathroom, steam towels and toiletries everywhere. Room service? Not a fancy tray, just you, exhausted, eating on the bed. The Instagram dream lasts 5 minutes. The rest is lived in chaos, and that's okay. The mess means you're actually living, not just posing. The perfect photo is the before. The real adventure is in the during. Next up, the secret nature spot. Instagram shows one person, alone with a hidden waterfall. We hiked an hour, expecting solitude. Instead, a line of people waiting for their turn on the photo rock. It's a photo booth in the jungle, 60 seconds to pose while everyone watches. The pressure is real. You try to look serene, but you're just anxious to get the shot before your time's up. The peaceful photo is born from a stressful public performance. So focused on the photo, you barely notice the waterfall. The final image looks like a private paradise. The truth? A crowded, awkward 60-second scramble. The secret spot is just a stage, and everyone's waiting for their turn in the spotlight. Food is a huge part of travel. It's one of the best ways to experience a new culture, to connect with locals, and to create memories that last long after the trip is over. Every destination has its own unique flavors, and sometimes, the most unforgettable moments happen around the dinner table. And thanks to Instagram, every dish, no matter how simple or strange, can look like a 5-star masterpiece. The colors pop, the lighting is perfect, and suddenly, even the weirdest foods seem irresistible. So, we set out to order the most photogenic local dishes we could find, picking the ones that looked the most vibrant and unique on the menu, even if we had no idea what they actually were. We spent ages arranging the plates, searching for the best angles, and snapping dozens of photos. Because if you didn't post it, did you even eat it? By the time we were done, the food was stone cold. But hey, at least the photos were hot. Then came the real challenge, the taste test. Would these picture-perfect dishes actually taste as good as they looked? Sometimes the reality is not great. That beautiful dish? It had a weird, slimy texture and flavors we never expected. Definitely not what the photos promised. We tried to keep a straight face, but it was a struggle. Some bites were so strange we couldn't help but laugh or cringe. There's this unspoken pressure to love every bite, especially when everyone's watching or waiting for your reaction. But honestly, not every meal is a winner. and that's okay. Sometimes we just couldn't finish the plate, no matter how good it looked in the photo. On Instagram, you only see the pretty photo, the highlight reel. You don't see the hesitation, the nervous laughter, or the regret after that first bite. Behind every perfect food shot, there's a story. Sometimes of bravery, sometimes of regret, and sometimes of just trying to be polite. We tried a famous local soup that looked absolutely incredible online, steaming, colorful, and beautifully presented. But the moment we smelled it, we knew we were in for a surprise. The taste was even more shocking. Totally different from what we expected. Adventurous eating is a roller coaster. Some meals are unforgettable in the best way. Others, well, they make for a great story and a funny memory. Instagram only shows the highlight reel, the best bites, the prettiest plates. But the real adventure? It's in the trying, the laughing, and the stories you take home. Not just the photos you post. Instagram makes travel look perfect. Sunshine, smiles, and smooth sailing. Reality? Things go wrong all the time. Missed buses, flat tires, and getting stuck in the mud at 4 a.m. None of that makes the feed. But those disasters, they're the stories you remember. We hiked for hours to a legendary view, only to find a wall of fog. All you can do is laugh. These moments test your patience and creativity, but they're what make the trip memorable. The perfect photo captures a destination, but the imperfect moments capture the journey. The real adventure is in the chaos, the mishaps, and the unexpected detours. That's what turns a trip into a story worth telling. That's a wrap. We battled crowds, woke up early, waited in lines, and ate some weird food, all to show you the truth behind perfect travel photos. Remember, what you see online is never the full story. Real travel is about the experience, the good, the bad, and the hilarious. Don't compare your adventures to someone else's highlight reel. Embrace the chaos, laugh at the mishaps, and focus on making memories. A perfect photo is nice, but a great memory is priceless. Go make some of your own. See you in the next video. Let me know if you need further tightening or adjustments.